Every elder carries a treasure trove of secrets, stories of struggles, love, regrets, and wisdom they chose to keep hidden. These secrets are not just personal, they are reflections of the world they grew up in, shaped by experiences that younger generations may never fully understand. They lived through times when speaking openly about emotions, hardships, or controversial topics was not welcomed. For some, silence became a way of protecting loved ones, while for others it was a means of self-preservation. Some of these secrets were too painful to revisit, while others were quietly locked away, never meant to be spoken aloud. What were these hidden truths, and why did they choose to take them to their graves rather than sharing them with their families? Today we uncover the mysteries that elders kept in their hearts until their final days. 1. Lost loves and forbidden romances. Love is a powerful force, but for many elders, love was not always theirs to choose. Many elders lived in an era where arranged marriages, strict societal norms, or family expectations dictated their romantic lives. Some had secret lovers, people they truly loved, but were never allowed to be with. These lost loves often remained hidden, buried in diaries or faded photographs, tucked away in the corners of old storage boxes. Some had passionate romances that ended due to war, migration, or family disapproval. Others carried a lifelong torch for someone they could never be with, choosing instead to honor the commitments they were forced into. Why they kept it secret? Fear of family disapproval, especially in cultures where arranged marriages were expected, deep loyalty to their spouse, and not wanting to hurt them by revealing past love stories. The pain of resurfacing old emotions, some elders believed it was best to bury the past rather than relive it. Religious and societal rules often forbade certain relationships, especially interracial or same-sex love in conservative societies. Some feared judgment from their children and grandchildren, believing their past choices would change how they were perceived. 2. Financial hardships and sacrifices. Behind every successful family, there are often silent sacrifices that remain unspoken. Many elders lived through times of extreme hardship, economic recessions, wars, or job losses that tested their resilience. Some parents went to bed hungry so their children could eat. Others worked long hours at physically demanding jobs, sometimes in unsafe conditions, just to make ends meet. There were even those who took on secret debts, borrowed money from friends, or pawned treasured belongings without telling their families. They endured endless struggles in silence, hiding their suffering behind smiles, so their children would never feel the weight of poverty. Why they kept it secret? To protect their children from guilt. Many parents didn't want their kids to feel like they owed them something. Pride played a role. Admitting financial struggles might have felt like failure. Many believed that suffering in silence was part of being a responsible parent, that their duty was to provide without complaint. Some didn't want to create worry, especially if they felt things would eventually get better. The shame of struggling financially in a society that valued success prevented them from opening up. 3. Family conflicts and hidden feuds. Have you ever noticed a family member who is never mentioned or a relative who suddenly disappeared from family gatherings? Many elders carried deep family conflicts they chose never to share, whether it was a sibling rivalry, an inheritance dispute, or a broken friendship. Some grudges lasted a lifetime. Some elders even reconciled in private, but never disclosed it to the rest of the family. Others carried pain from betrayals, harsh words, or misunderstandings that were never resolved. Sometimes elders chose to rewrite history, omitting painful chapters so their descendants would not inherit the bitterness. Why they kept it secret? To maintain peace within the family and prevent future generations from taking sides. Shame or guilt over past decisions, especially if they felt they were in the wrong. A belief that certain matters should be left in the past rather than dredged up again. Some feared that revealing old wounds would only cause unnecessary pain and division. Some wanted to shield their children from the toxicity of long-standing family grudges. 4. Hidden health struggles. Some elders lived with chronic illnesses or disabilities that they never disclosed. Whether it was undiagnosed depression, untreated diabetes, or early signs of dementia, they often downplayed their conditions. Many feared being seen as weak or incapable. Some elders resisted medical help, believing it was pointless or that they could manage on their own. They didn't want to burden their families with worry, so they silently endured pain, discomfort, and declining health. Even when faced with terminal illnesses, some chose not to tell anyone, preferring to live their remaining days without pity or sorrowful glances from loved ones. Why they kept it secret? Not wanting to worry their family, especially if they believed nothing could be done. Fear of losing independence. Some elders dreaded being seen as frail or helpless. Cultural beliefs that sickness should be endured silently, without complaint. Some thought acknowledging their illness would make it more real and feared giving up hope. A strong sense of pride kept them from admitting they needed help. 5. Secret war stories and trauma. Many elders, especially veterans, carried haunting memories of war, events too painful to relive. Some saw comrades perish, others were forced into violence, and many suffered from PTSD long before it was recognized. The battlefield left scars that were not only physical, but emotional. They witnessed horrors beyond imagination, moments that haunted their dreams. Rather than revisiting those horrors, they chose silence, shielding their families from the nightmares they could never escape. Even those who were not soldiers but lived through war carried scars of hunger, displacement, and loss that they never spoke about. Why they kept it secret? Trauma and the inability to process their experiences made talking about it unbearable. Fear of being seen differently by their loved ones or judged for their actions in war. A sense of duty to protect their family from the harsh realities they had faced. Many were told to suppress their emotions, that speaking about war was a sign of weakness. Some felt that no one could truly understand their pain, so silence was their only refuge. The secrets elders kept were not just remnants of the past. They were shields forged by love, sacrifice, and resilience. Their silence was not just about hiding pain. It was about protecting the ones they loved. Some secrets were locked away to maintain peace, while others were buried to prevent heartbreak. Yet these untold stories hold immense wisdom, lessons that could shape future generations, if only they were shared. As time moves forward, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to break this cycle of silence? The stories of our elders deserve to be heard, honored, and remembered. By fostering open conversations, we create a bridge between generations, one built on understanding, empathy, and shared wisdom. Let us encourage our elders to speak freely, to share their experiences, and to pass down their legacy, not just in whispers, but in voices that echo through time. For in their hidden struggles and unspoken sacrifices lies the essence of true resilience. And by listening, we not only preserve their history, but also enrich our own lives, ensuring that no lesson, no love, and no hardship ever truly fades into oblivion.